Shalom everyone, welcome back. This coming week we read the portion of Toldos, which talks about the story of Isaac and how he wished to give the bracha, the blessing of the firstborn to his oldest son, which was Esav, the wicked Esav, and in return what happened was, of course, Yaakov masqueraded himself as Esav and took the birthright away from him. And so from then on, the birthright belonged to Yaakov, the children of Yaakov, and that's us. So there are two important lessons that we can learn from this. One lesson is that when Yaakov approached Yitzchak, Isaac, and he had on him the skin of the wild animal on his arm to masquerade himself as Esau, he approached his father, and his father said, Hakol kol Yaakov, the voice is the voice of Yaakov, v'hayadayim yedei Esau, but the hands are the hands of Esau. And he seemed a bit confused by this, although we are told really he wasn't confused at all. He knew exactly what he was doing. He knew who was getting the blessing. And the lesson of that is very, very important. Sometimes we need to be the kol Yaakov, the voice of Yaakov. Yaakov is known as one who meditated in the field, meditated in the tent. He learned Torah. He was a very spiritual person. He was not warlike at all. That's the Jewish people. The Jewish people are not a warlike people. The Jewish people are gentle. The Jewish people believe in studying Torah and learning God's wisdom. But sometimes we need to have the hands of Esav. Esav was the hunter. He was the wild one, the strong one, the fighter. And indeed, in Israel today, we are seeing that take place. The world is shocked by the fact that the Jews are such good fighters, that the IDF, the Israel Defense Forces, are among the finest armies in the world. And we are seeing what's happening in Gaza today, that the wicked Hamas terrorists are being obliterated one after the other until eventually, God willing, our hostages will be free. And the world can't understand how is it that the Jews can be such good fighters. It doesn't seem right that the Jews should be fighters. All throughout history, Jews have not been fighters at all. But now we are fighters because we need to be fighters. And sometimes that's how it has to happen. And when Jews are fighters, we are the very best of the fighters. But we fight in an ethical and a moral way as well. We try to protect civilians if we can. We do it in an ethical, proper way. But we need sometimes to have the voice of Jacob, and sometimes we need to have the hands of Esau. Today, in the war of Israel and Hamas, it is necessary to have the hands of Esav. And when we do that, we will be successful. We are told that Esav, at the end, hated Yaakov for taking the birthright away from him. And our sages tell us that Esav, son of Yaakov, Esav always hates Jacob. Esav, which represents the wicked anti-Semites of the world, our enemies, hate Jacob. Not they have hated, but they always do hate. And the nature of hatred, of anti-Semitic hatred, is something that will always be with us, unfortunately. There's nothing we can do that will get rid of it, nothing at all. But we need to be kind, we need to be good, we need to be loving, we need to do everything we can to make the world into a better place. But at the same time, we have to recognize the fact that Esav will always hate Yaakov. And it's an unfortunate thing, but today we have the ability of fighting back, and we should do it in the best way we possibly can. And may God grant the Israel Defense Forces all the strength that they need, and all the firepower, and all the friends that they need throughout the world to succeed in this very, very difficult task, till eventually they will conquer Esav, they will conquer all the wickedness and evil in the world, and make the world into a holy place, a place where God can dwell. Candle lighting tonight is at 4:28. We want to wish you all a good Shabbos.